Good afternoon. What a great crowd. And really, thank you, Ed. Thank you, Sue. There you are. Okay. And our guests that are going to be here are going to join us, or some of them are already here, but are going to speak to us today. What an incredible lineup. When I first saw this, I have to tell you, it was one of the most impressive lineups that I've seen for any UPS function. And I'm sure that a lot of people here agree with that same thing, to get this kind of turnout. And we're showing this, I guess people can see it throughout the world, right? And I was going to say throughout the country, but 220 countries and territories, right? So throughout the world. And that again tells you that this is a big deal. So let me talk about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, when we were talking about this initiative, we didn't envision having a crowd like this in an auditorium 10 years later. In fact, we really didn't know just exactly what we wanted to do. What we did know is we had a couple of trends that weren't going in our favor. And it seems like, and this I'm talking in particular with our Women Leadership Initiative, it seemed like every time we took 2 steps forward, we'd take a step back. And then we'd take 2 steps forward, and then sometimes we'd take 2 steps back, right? And so we were rowing really hard, but it didn't appear that we were making near the progress that we wanted to make. It's not that we didn't have people that were focused on it. It's not that we didn't have the intentions. It's just that we didn't think we were seeing the results with all the work that we were putting in. And a couple of things we were concerned about. One was the turnover rate for leadership, female leadership, was higher than we were experiencing with our males. And second is we didn't have enough women represented in the top levels of our company. And with this turnover rate, that can kind of build upon itself, right? Because you have people that you're planning to do things in the future, and then when you lose some of them, it's just creating a bigger problem. So the early meetings I remember, and I'm glad that Amy Whitley came back. Amy, would you stand up? I want to recognize you. But Amy started leading some discussions, and we started forming our arms around this women's leadership initiative. And I have to tell you, it wasn't like she had a easy job selling us on this, because we weren't sure exactly what we wanted to do, and we weren't sure what the results of this would be, right? For everybody that thought it was a great thing, there were still some people that wondered, could this be an initiative that would have people focusing on the negative versus the positive? I mean, it sounds silly now, but 10 years ago, we didn't have this proven track record that we had. And there was sensitivity about how would the rest of UPS take this. There's just a lot of things in typical UPS fashion we had to work our way through. But we decided to do it, but not really stepping both feet forward, right? So we were going to do a pilot. And we were going to do a few locations around this pilot and see people laughing, because that's how we do things. And then we were going to see what the reaction was. Well, the reaction was that we lost total control of this thing from the very beginning, because it went over so well that every location, every district wanted to do it. And if they weren't on the pilot list, they just added themselves. So we had 2 choices, officially expand the pilot, or we were going to have this undercurrent effort that was going to be going on at the same time. So it really exploded is what it did, and from a very positive standpoint. And the reaction and all those fears and concerns, they went away so quickly. And I remember coming to the first meeting, and one of the things that surprised me is we had a significant number of men